Right, number 3, we're going to take the derivative of both sides since we can't get y on one side by itself. We can't solve for it. We just take the derivative of everything as it is. So on the left side, again, kind of like number 2, we have x times y squared. We need to use product rule because those are being multiplied. So derivative of the first term is just 1 times the regular second term, so we just get y squared, plus the regular first term, which is x, times the derivative of y squared is 2y dy dx. I'm going to go ahead and put the 2 out in front, times y, so we have 2xy and dy dx. Just trying to organize that a little bit better than throwing x times 2y dy dx. So we have the derivative of this part using the product rule. Next, we have to do the derivative of negative cosine of y. So, derivative of cosine. We have to use chain rule here. We're going to do the cosine part first and then the derivative of the y. So derivative of cosine is negative sine, but since we have a negative here, that's going to give us plus sine of y. Then we have to multiply by the derivative of the inside. Derivative of y is dy dx. On the right side, it looks complicated, but it's not because this is just a constant. Pi squared over 4, there's no variable, it's just a constant, and the derivative of a constant is 0. So, we've taken the derivative of both sides. Now we need to get the dy dx's on one side by themselves. So we need to get rid of the y squared. And now that we have these by themselves, we can factor out a dy dx. So if we take a dy dx out, whoops, that equals dy dx times 2xy plus sine of y equals the opposite of y squared. So to solve for dy dx, all we're doing is dividing both sides by what's in the parentheses here, so we get opposite of y squared all over 2xy plus sine of y. And now we need to go ahead and figure out what the slope is at this point, so we can plug in this x value and this y value to find our slope. So we have the opposite of pi over 2 squared all over 2 times 1 times pi over 2 plus sine of pi over 2. So up top, pi over 2 times pi over 2, we're going to get pi squared over 4. On the bottom, 2 times 1 times pi over 2, we're just going to get pi. And the sine of pi over 2 is just 1. Don't forget we've got that negative out in front here, so we can put it in front of the whole thing or up at the top. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out in front of the whole thing. And this, if we're doing free response, that's fine, but like I've told you many times, your basic free response answers are not necessarily going to be what they're going to show you on the multiple choice. They would want this simplified. So to simplify this, we're going to go ahead and multiply by 4 on the top and the bottom to get rid of this fraction. Right, so essentially we're multiplying by 1, so it's not changing what this is equal to, it's just giving it a facelift, changing what it looks like. When we multiply the top by 4, those cancel out, and we just have pi squared. On the bottom, we distribute that 4 to both parts, or we can leave it factored out. Let's go ahead and just leave it factored out. So we can leave it like that, or like I said, 4 pi plus 4.